Welcome to another episode of Wow, that definitely did not go as planned, but it's probably for the best, with an emphasis on probably. You're getting a 3-for-1 special today, so get comfortable. This first one actually happened a couple weeks ago while I was on the road with my older brother. We took a road trip down to Texas, visiting Jose one time before he comes home next month. And of course, we're calling back home along the way, just make sure everybody knows where we are and that we're still alive, right? We just finished getting off the phone with everybody, letting everybody know that we're almost there. And sure enough, not even 5 minutes after we get off the phone, and we're like 45 minutes out, there's some debris in the road that neither me or my brother who's driving even notices. Long story short, our front bumper is jacked and there's no coolant going to our engine now. Our radiator's hanging by a thread basically. And so we're not going anywhere anytime soon. The car is not drivable, and at this point, that's not even my main concern. The thing I'm the most pissed off about is we're almost there. We wind up calling Jose to come pick us up. That's not how we wanted to meet him, but I mean that's just what it was. And that was Friday night. Fast forward to Sunday. We get to the airport to hop on our first flight to Dallas, and then we're supposed to catch a connect flight to Kansas City. The first flight worked out fine. And so all we have to do to get home tonight is make it to the next flight. Sure enough, we couldn't make it because there's a lot of confusion there. I won't bore you with the details about. But the main thing is we were almost there. Jeez, we almost made it home. Jeez Louise. So we wind up staying in the airport overnight, which did not make me happy because at this point I'm just like, this went from a few $100 trip to a few $1,000 trip. I just want to go home. I think it's just a thing with our family that, like, when it comes to traveling, we're not particularly good at this sort of thing, you know? I mean, it's not like we're bad at it, you know? It just never really fails. Like, as soon as, like, we're, like, yay close, you know? Something just has to stop us in our tracks and just throw us completely off. And me and my family have a handful of other stories along these same lines. So, I mean, shoot, I might have to tell another one of these days. Which brings me to my other story. All right, here's the deal. I'm not proud of this story, but it's still one of my favorites to tell. And this was like a year ago, so it's not like none of you know about it already. I told my youth kids about it. I wrote a song about it, for crying out loud. This was easily probably the scariest moment of my entire life. And it happened so off the rip too. Like I don't even, in retrospect, I feel like I wasn't even supposed to be there, but I don't know. Things kind of just fell into place that way. And I guess it was for this very reason. All right, so for one reason or another, I can't really remember why, I ended up in Lee Summit, picking up a friend of my roommate. And it's not like I didn't like her. I got along with her just fine. It's just not exactly within my cards to be out at 11:30 at night just to drive somebody back to my apartment, you know what I mean? And the ride home is very awesome, you know, like it's smooth, nothing too eventful. We're cracking jokes, we're having fun, like whatever, you know? Until, okay, I'm gonna say that again, that was crazy. Until we get to Gardner, and we're heading southbound, of course, back to Ottawa. I must have zoned out or something for a few seconds, and then when I finally snapped back into it, I noticed that there's this car right in front of me. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm about to rear end this fool. And because I'm tired and a little bit irritated, I'm not thinking straight, so I could just slow down. But no, I had the novel idea to swerve around this fool. And so we're about to go into the ditch on this side. So I'm like, oh shoot, gotta straighten back out. So I swerve the other way. And that's when I hear Ash screaming from the back seat. We get turned around, and that's when I realized I lost control of the car. I see headlights coming straight at me, and that's when my life flashed before my eyes. I was just like, holy cow, this is really it. I'm about to die. But for better or for worse, I was wrong. I didn't in fact die. Surprise. I hear like 4 to 5 loud thumping sounds, and then everything went black. And that's when I realized, oh shoot, I have to get out of the car. Darn it. We get out, and the reason it was such a task for us is because it was upside down. And I'm ticked off, not because my car is totally wrecked, not even because it's cold out, because it was like 70 degrees. It was because, again, I was almost there! We were almost home. Shoot. And you know what? I noticed a common theme with every one of these experiences when I look back at them. every single time that everything just totally went south and something came out of left field and just threw us all off guard, it was always right when I got comfortable again. It was right when I thought to myself that everything was going to be fine and everything was going to go perfectly as planned. Sure enough, we get stranded in Dallas. Sure enough, I get stranded out on the side of the highway. My car is totaled. Lost on the side of the highway in a place we've never been before and we hope to never be again. Just begging and pleading, just like, I just want to go home. It should be noted also that I get homesick very easy. I mean, given the fact that I'm back here, that kind of tells the tale for you. But I've noticed that with this new phase of life that I'm in now. For those of you that don't know, I lead the youth at my church, mostly as a worship leader, but now things are transitioning to where I'm going to be just the main leader. And while I was away in Milwaukee, I couldn't help but do anything but stress out about what things were going to look like when I came back. But being able to absorb all this positive energy from everybody and just be overwhelmed in assurance and affirmations and support, it was the greatest thing ever, you know. And I had begun to think that everything was going to be fine and that I might actually be ready to take this on. But sure enough, I get home and I jump right back into that funk that had me distracted in the first place. The funk that had me feeling like I wasn't ready for this at all. And it hit me right when I thought everything was going to be fine. Is it a me thing? Like, can I just not help but be miserable? I guess that's why I just instinctively make it a point to be uncomfortable all the time. Just to never be satisfied with anything. Because if I'm constantly worrying about everything, then maybe that's my own weird way of knowing that everything is going to be fine. If that doesn't make sense, I understand. I can't keep this going without it getting too deep, so I'm probably just going to stop here. Long story short, don't go on a road trip with me or my family. It's bad luck, I guess. I don't know. And if you're wondering why I don't do anything, this would be why. Like, people will ask, well, would it kill you to go out and do something? Probably.